We're here at Rockblock Cardiff and I'm joined by Ben, who's the head route setter here. He's the co-founder of Impact Routesetting as well. Today we're going to be looking at the Axis Plywood range and building a couple of boulders, testing them, tweaking them and showing the versatility of the holds.
We're going to set a couple of different style things. First of all, we're going to do like a competition style boulder, really try and explore some of the possibilities we have with how some of these things work together. And then we're going to move on and do a slightly more commercial boulder, a little bit easier, and see how they work in both environments. So we've just finished version 1, the first draft of this boulder. We've used these kind of long board things, which are really cool. They all come in pairs and they all slot together, so there's loads of options as to what you can do with them. It's designed to be like a really dynamic toe catch move. Always with these moves, there's like a load of unknowns. So we're gonna go through a testing and tweaking process now, probably change a few things, maybe even totally change some ideas, we'll see. Always with these sort of moves, it's really hard to get out of them in a nice way, so you're kind of putting someone in like a really tricky position where they've got a toe hook and they're hanging on a really bad hold. So that's one of the areas we're going to have to look at here and maybe change. All right, I think that move's good. Just needs a foot really. So I kind of knew it was going to need a foot over this side, but just wanted to make sure that that move was going to work first. Oh my God, that was close. Sweet. Flipping heck, it's quite involved. On this boulder, we made quite a lot of changes around the main hold that you kind of throw over and catch the toe off. It's really crucial that that hold is just right to make that sort of move work. Luckily with this set of holds, there's like 10 variations of the same thing, so there's almost always one that's slightly better, almost always one that's slightly worse, so it's much easier to tweak things and change things just by that kind of minuscule degree to really make things work. We're going to set something here that's a little bit more commercial at friendlier grade, so we're probably going to aim for something below V4, V3 or V4, and just see how they can kind of be used in a bit more of like a day-to-day commercial sense as well. With our second boulder, which was like the slightly easier, more kind of commercial standard boulder, we had our first version, which was about V3, and then we looked at a few options. One to make it a little bit easier, so the hold at the bottom, which was like a sloping V volume, we swapped out for something that was a little bit better, which meant you could swing your feet around easily. And then the one at the top, we played a little bit with the slots for a few little versions where you could make it a little bit harder to make the slot a little bit smaller, and then actually quite a lot harder to make the slot really thin and really have to kind of crimp in on the edge of it. These Axis plywood holds are really versatile. The way they've been designed, they've each got a positive side and a less positive side, so you can kind of use the back side of them for some like really tricky smears or some palm moves, things like that, some things which are a little bit more subtle. The nature of how they're kind of geometric and all the shapes work really well together, can make some really visually appealing boulders. They work really well with each other, not just with the pairs, but with everything else in the set, as well as working really well with the features of the wall to make something which looks really nice.